Welcome to the channel and a little bit of an update for anyone who's been following the Monterey build. We've actually had a pretty busy week in the past little bit, getting a few things done. Started off with getting the engine off to the machine shop and the cylinder heads. The block is going to be checked over first to ensure that there's no cracks in it and we can move forward with the rebuild. Uh, Engine builder Kenny Cosgrove has done both engine work for me as well as all the machine work for many years now. Actually, builds killer engines. A bunch of us used him for our race engines, and the products have always been great from him. He's a very meticulous man. We also, of course, got the frame out of here and got it off to sandblasting. Already did a segment about the frame, but it's still sitting here, and we'll be doing repair work on it, getting it prepped to be painted. This is what the frame looked like when it came back from sandblasting before we got primer on it. It definitely revealed some of the stuff that we hadn't seen. The guy blasting it said he started off with 3565 grit sand and had to actually move to a 2080 grit in order to remove a lot of the scaling. And then he actually went back over it with 3565 to smooth it out. One thing that was nice is that it did reveal where our serial number is on the frame because we hadn't found it yet. And you can actually read all the digits, and it does match the number on the driver's door. Behind me also here is the body. The boys got a little more cleanup done on it while I was working on the cylinder heads, and the majority actually is now fairly clear of all the undercoating and that we were wrestling with. And Freeman's going to be coming on it soon and getting some body work started. We have a couple of components to order. We're going to get a couple of the middle channels. You can buy them new, and we're going to get those. And that'll move further faster. We also had obtained a few new parts for the car, and I thought I'd just throw them in on this one because we're going to be rolling along. We're waiting on 12 pieces coming back from chrome plating. He says they should be done next week, and we'll finally get to see what some of the re-chrome parts are going to look like. If we were able to find new parts to replace some of the chrome stuff, we have, which is like the door handles and the mirror. There's a few other components that we've already discussed further along. I'll flip this over so you can actually see. So one of the components that was a real problem is actually, this is the transmission cross member. And we were going to repair it. You can see it's got this giant rod hole in it. We were going to repair it, and it would have been a bit of a chore. You can see where the seam there has swollen. Actually, a little bit on both sides, actually. The piece just wasn't very nice, and gentleman in Quebec actually had this one, also out of a 63 convertible. This piece is in really good condition, actually. The convertible actually has a unique cross member compared to the regular sedans and the four doors, which in the configuration, the convertible is the only one that had this X frame in the center. So the transmission cross member goes from these two brackets. That's why it's such a short piece. If it was out of a regular sedan or two-door car, it would actually go all the way across the two channels from side to side. So they're a much longer cross member. A lot of the chrome stuff that was inside the car was in pretty rough shape. I'll get under a little more light here. So, whoops, lost a couple clips. These would have had to been disassembled and re-chromed because they're actually a little bit pitted and definitely wouldn't finish up real well. Our good friends over at Stillwell's, again, they've been a bit of a godsend to us. This is a used switch, but it's actually in really nice shape. This we could have actually used in the car, and we probably would have if we hadn't have also found Stillwell's had a brand new surround for the switch. So this is actually a brand new piece. Has never been in a car, and you can see how nice and easy it is to read all the titles for each toggle switch across the top of them. It's a really, really nice piece. So that will be going into the car. Our switches actually were in pretty tough shape as well. Just, you know, from all the animal excrement and everything caused some of the pitting that you see on the edges and that. We weren't able to get brand new ones, but these used ones from our friend Stillwell's there are really nice. Like we'll be able to put those right into the car and use them. Even though they're used pieces, they're still nice. They had brand new ones, but the brand new ones that they had actually were 3-wire, and everything in our car is a 4-wire switch. So we actually got 2 of those off of Stillwell's. The hubcaps that were on the car, we actually thought we were going to be able to use them. These are the hubcaps. We were looking at finishing them. Again, we'll get them out a little further. You can see there's dents in them. Of course, it would have had to have been repainted. There's a number of scratches from where mechanics or whoever has put them back on the rims and obviously caused a little bit of dents and etc. This one was a little better. And of course, but you get the idea. They're pretty decent, but for the caliber of restoration we're heading for, we were really looking to get a little more of an improvement. And came in this box. We took them out of the box. This is just something else, all the way from 1963. This box, it actually has all the markings from where. It's upside down, but it was from Iowa, and still never used, never on a car. We got these amazing hubcaps. They're brand new, and you know, it was worth the money because we didn't think we'd ever be able to achieve this kind of a finish in restoring these other ones. So these are a great piece, and of course all 4 of them are in there. And I mean, even look at the back of this thing. It's got the Fomoco stamp still on the back of it. All the paint is intact. It's just a great looking piece. So we're very excited. Those are going to be a great finish on the rims when we get this all tidied up. The other thing I want to say is that when we were taking the frame apart, the lower control arms actually were a little bit of a trick. Between the corrosion and the grease, etc., that was in the bushings, it wasn't clear to us right away how to take it apart. And we have a subscriber, Von Wathen, and he sent us the PDF files of the 62 and 63 shop manuals. And I opened it up, went in there, and found an exploded view of the entire front end. And I want to tell him, thanks. You saved us a lot of headache because it became very clear as to how to take this apart. And I'm actually going to be putting the engine together myself. I found all the engine specs and everything for the assembly. I just want to say thanks, brother. Like those manuals are really valuable to us. So progress is being made. We're going to be working on the frame. Freeman's going to get to work on the body. You can see there's a giant mess of parts all in here. We're going to be setting up a sandblasting tent so that we can get all those components ready to be blasted and then painted, and then hopefully everything will sync up roughly when the frame's ready and we can roll the frame out of here. We'll also be media blasting the entire body, so there's quite an amount of sandblasting to do in the next little while, but that's kind of the next big leg we're at. Everything should be starting to show some promise, and it should start looking like a car once again. And I won't be upset because this car is scattered all over our property. This is a giant car with a lot of pieces, and oh, I see I got a friend flying around in here. It should look pretty amazing in the next few videos coming up as we start to get some paint on some stuff. So thanks for watching, and we'll keep you posted. Should look like a car again one day. Take care.